Greetings, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. This is Rock and Roll Spot Connection with the weekly comic book roundup, free comic book day edition. So, we're going to start with some familiar ground. Now, first off, it should be noted, not everything for Free Comic Book Day was a comic book, or free. Example, this pop of Constantine, which was neither free nor a comic book. But anyway, so for the past few years, the first Saturday in May has been Free Comic Book Day. Comic books across the country will order in from the various companies issues to be given out for free. And yeah, the big ones do it. You know, Marvel does it, but you also get ones that are get smaller ones. Valiant, Boom, IDW, which they're not. They have followings. So anyway. But yeah, often I'm just kind of to hook in new readers. Well, some of that can actually work pretty well with that. So, but like I said, we'll start off on familiar ground with the Avengers Free Comic Book Day issue. So, we start off in the Savage Land. Tony Stark is trying to figure out where the hell he is. Then we got Namor and his Atlanteans attacking the Roxxon Helideric, only to be stopped by the Squadron Supreme of America. At Avengers Mountain, you've got Blade, Black Panther, and Ghost Rider. Pretty much decided they have to do an exorcism on Ghost Rider's car. Then in Shi'ar Space, we've got Captain Marvel, Captain America, Thor, as a member of the Brood, and She-Hulk as Starjammers, and they're approaching the planet with the Star Brand. As for with Tony, who's been narrating the whole thing. Turns out he's way back in the past, and is face to face with Odin, Agamotto, the first Iron Fist, the Star Brand, and the first Black Panther, and the first Ghost Rider. We've also got a Savage Avengers story, explaining giving some importance for the tenor who's killed early on in Savage Avengers #1. It turns out he's friends with Wolverine. That's how Wolverine got drawn. So I thought it was actually Brother Voodoo, but I was mistaken. Turns out that this guy would use his pricey travel demands to oppress people as Wolverine puts out of harm's way for years. Then Wolverine fights some hand ninjas, gets a sense of the Savage Land, and yeah. Then another ninja brings Stick to Cairo, and basically it turns out Stick's not dead, and that the ninja in question is actually Elektra. So now Elektra's on their tail. Now, I will say this. There's one comic in here that, in all honesty, I should have picked up Wednesday. Because, yeah, I would have totally reviewed it on Wednesday otherwise. But, yeah, I didn't because I make bad decisions. Next up, we have a Free Comic Book Day Spider-Man special. Now, we got two stories here. One's a Venom story. One's a story wherein they're setting up the upcoming Absolute Carnage event. which will be dropping in August. Then we got Spider-Man and or Peter Spider-Man and Spider-Man. You know, squaring off over best pizza in New York. However, so they try Peter Parker's pick, which is Cuccinello's. It's really good, but Miles insists it's still not as good as Sonny's in Brooklyn. As they're heading over to Brooklyn, well, they run into Shocker, who's trying to steal pills. And they beat the crap out of him. As they're leaving, Shocker explains that the best pizza in New York is Sicilian Village in the Bronx. Peter chalks up the idea that the best pizza in New York would be in the Bronx to the fact that, you know, Shocker's been hit in the head a whole lot. But they realize that both places are the best because they each feel like home. So yeah, for Peter, Cuccinello's is the best because it reminds him of being 12 and staying up late with Aunt May, whereas Miles, he's been coming to Sunny since he eats solid food. So yeah. Alrighty. Now, Marvel actually put out I didn't pick up all the books. I just picked up the ones that caught my eye. Last of which being Star Wars. What do you know? It's May the 4th. So it's really just kind of a preview. Got a few pages from Galaxy's Edge, setting things up there. Talking with the writer. We also get a few pages from Age of Rebellion, Boba Fett, and a few pages from TIE Fighter, and yeah, there's also quite a few interviews with Star Wars writers, with the writers of the Star Wars comic series. Anyways, moving on. A classic retouched Spawn #1. This is literally the first issue of Spawn, and the artwork's been retouched. At the end, there's you got an ad for Spawn Origins Collection Volume 1, collecting Spawn 1 through 6. Which is a stupid way of doing it because it should be Spawn 1 through 7, because it cuts off in the middle of a story. It's 1 through. It should either be 1 through 6 or 1 through 5, or 1 through 7 or 1 through 5, not 1 through 6. But yeah, we can't all make good decisions. Next up, we've got Deadly Class, which is an excellent primer for those who might be interested from the cartoon, or not the cartoon, from the show on Sci-Fi Channel. But yeah, it's a nice little setup for everyone. It definitely does have my interest. It at least somewhat piques my interest. Next up, we've got Punchline from Antarctic Press, Comics and Chill. This has a woman named Mel in a cemetery on Christmas Eve, and she's injured, like bleeding injured. Sits down next to a girl. They talk a bit. Turns out Mel's a superhero, and the powers that be wish for her to transfer her abilities onto someone else. So she transfers them to Jessie, the young girl she met on the bench. And so they kind of we get some costume stuff, you know, but we do some training, and yeah. Again, this is also an interesting interesting premise. It takes place in a world where superheroes are a normal thing. But it deals more with just, you know, the superheroes themselves. So, you know, like Jesse runs into Black Arrow, who I guess is kind of comes off as being a combination of Hawkeye and Green Arrow, to be perfectly honest. Next up, we got Interceptor, which is a weird, tongue-in-cheek, dystopic vampire book. Thousands of years ago, mankind left the Earth. We told everyone, and we wrote in the history books, that it's because we, in our hubris, destroyed the planet, which we probably will. But no, it's actually because vampires, who were probably awakened because of global warming, but yeah. And as we left, we set off all the nukes. But it turns out that the vampires survived, and in fact have been thriving. And it looks like they're on the cusp of intergalactic travel. So they've sent a they sent someone to, you know, to make sure that doesn't happen. But it turns out there are still people on Earth. And so one of those people teams up with their contingency plan. And yeah, they're going to lots of vampire killing. Next we got Stranger Things. This takes place between seasons 1 and 2. Mike is bummed out and kind of in his little blanket fort in the basement. Steve and Mike's sister, Nancy, are dating. So at this point, they're still dating. So, but they decided they're going to try and, you know, at least talk to Mike, see what's going on. Mike ends up trying to talk to them about D&D. But yeah, you know, basically all in fact hopes of cheering Mike up. And it actually turns out that there's a prequel series coming out for comic series taking place before the events of season 1. Also, in the back of this, we have a Black Hammer story called Horrors. And yeah, it looks fun. Tongue-in-cheek horror sci-fi, which is always amusing. So. Then we've got from Valiant, Bloodshot. It's just a standard Bloodshot story. Them, you know, killing bad guys, and then we've also got a setup for the Fallen. Valiant's upcoming Fallen World series, or story arc, which takes place, the setup story at least taking place in the year 4001. Right? Yes. And we've got a Buffy and Firefly one shot. It's got a brief the Firefly story. You've got Boss Moon, Birth of a Unificator. On the planet Barstow, Boss Moon saves the day a bit, and then ends up getting recruited by the Alliance to track down war criminals. There are two Buffy stories. First one, Frenemies. Where Buffy gets an artifact from Anya, and it turns out that she was holding on to it for Angel. Well, he says, if you hurry, you might find her, and finds, who? The Slayer. Then we've got another Buffy story called... it's a preview of Buffy the Vampire Slayer #1. And this is... I don't know, I think it's a retelling of how things began, or at least her time in Sunnydale. But we get her, she saves Willow and Xander. But yeah, it's just a short preview. Then IDW put out a Ninja Turtles book. It sets up their upcoming City at War story. And then it goes into the origins of those involved. Actually, of the various characters, including in the IDW comics, what's become of certain characters. So, and also a timeline as well. Then we got a Vampirella book from Dynamite. There's an all-new story. Apparently, recently, Vampirella got outed on social media, and so she's popping up all over the place, apparently. And she has a self-described disciple who basically says, either teach me or kill me. There's also an older story from let's see, what is this? 1993 by Kurt Busiek and Arthur Adams. It's, fun little tale. A little tale of magic and monsters, and yeah. And of course, Vampirella. That's why I was just kind of surprised that they didn't go for photo cover with, I guess, the current Vampirella model. With Vampirella, the various companies that have handled Vampirella as a character have over at least there's been a common thing of hiring models to be Vampirella for covers, convention appearances, what have you. I actually got was Vengeance of Vampirella from Harris Comics from the '90s, and that had a photo cover of the at that point in time Vampirella models. This was 25 years or so ago. So we got a Tick comic, and it's the Tick being, the Tick. Yeah, and it actually, apparently, this is a. Apparently, okay. So, NEC does puts out a Tick comic every year. They do the Tick Free Comic Book Day comic as part of a series. So this is actually the 9th issue. But yeah, like I said, it's the Tick being, the Tick. Fun stuff. Anyway, next up, and the last of our Free Comic Book Day ones is Robotech Event Horizon Chapter 0. Now, part of this is a, kind of, okay, this was the Macross Saga. Now we're past the Macross Saga with Admiral Hunter. Like I said, then there's just a lot of the quick version of the Macross Saga. And, Lisa Hayes' father, Admiral Hayes, has found a life support pod, or life support chamber with someone inside it. Also, there appears to possibly be a new alien threat looming. And that's fun. So, now the last book this week for this one is actually is not one of the Free Comic Book Day books. This is actually released normally on Wednesday, and if I'd thought about it, I probably would have picked it up. DCeased number 1 of 6. And I'm not the only person who's commented that it seems crazy that DC hasn't gone for a comic book with a title like that. So, we start off with the Justice League having defeated Darkseid, who is attempting to invade Earth. And he's told that, he will not return to Earth, and, so he's like, yeah, I won't. I already have, I have what I came for. Which does not make the League feel good at all. But it turns out that Cyborg is missing. And Batman reveals that he has a tracker on Cyborg. Has a range of 2 light years. He's not on the planet or nearby. Turns out he was captured by Darkseid's forces, and so he's being tortured by DCeased. Turns out that Cyborg has half of the anti-life equation, and Darkseid has the other half. So, and that's Darkseid's Infinity Gauntlet, the anti-life equation. He summons forth the Black Racer, makes a few changes, and he's able to. But something goes horribly wrong, and you get zombie Darkseid, who throws himself into the core of Apocalypse, causing the freaking planet to explode. Cyborg, however, Before the planet explodes, he manages to return to Earth via boom tube, lands in Metropolis. People start taking pictures of him, but it's exactly what happens. I gotta tell you how it's supposed to happen. The anti-life equation is picked up through the cell phone pictures and social media shares, and basically you get zombies. And Superman manages to prevent Lois Lane, Jonathan Kent, and Damian Wayne from turning. At the Batcave, Batman's figuring out what's going on and EMPs Wayne Manor. It turns out as being, it's largely funneling through social media. They didn't realize, hey, Batman isn't exactly social media, so, he should be safe. However, going around through the manor, he runs into Alfred. Alfred's fending off zombified versions of Nightwing and Tim Drake. But the two manage to overpower him, and, well, it's actually kind of heartbreaking. Yeah. This looks like it's going to be very interesting, to say the least. Alright, so that is it. That's it for this special edition of the Weekly Comic Book Roundup. I'll probably do this again next year as well with Free Comic Book Day books. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to be notified when I put new content. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon are in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard. Also, may the 4th be with you.